I'd like to continue by talking about CC Toner. The CC Toner is an effect that we use when we want to colorize something. Let's take these particular lines in here, which are very nice, but what if I wanted to make them a different color? Well, let's go ahead and pre-compose these last two. Shift-Command-C for Mac, Shift-Control-C for Windows, and I'm just going to call this one Lines 3. And I'll click OK. I can duplicate it if I want, like we saw before, but I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to go to the Effects and Presets panel and type in the word CC and then Toner. And there it is, and I'm going to add it to that layer. As soon as you add the effect, it of course opens in the Effect Controls panel. In here I can colorize things differently depending on the Luma information. For example, I can make the whites or the highlights red or blue or green, whatever color I want, and notice that they are displaying correctly here in the comp panel. Let's go ahead and make it green like that. And I can change the midtones to something else and the shadows to something else. So it's very, very usable for colorizing things. Right now I don't have any midtones or shadows, so I'm just going to leave that like that. And let's go ahead and preview this. And now it's green, but I'd like to add other colors to this, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer, and I'm going to multiply it a couple of times. So I'm going to duplicate it 4 or 5 times, Control or Command D, and there you go. I'm just going to make this a little bit wider. I'll select all of these, press S for scale, and I'm going to gradually make them a little bit smaller, so they all start being 100%, but now they're all slightly smaller and smaller and smaller. And let me move this up so we can see it a little bit better. And I'll make this about 40 or so. And let me go back to the workspace of standard, so I'll reset it. And there it is. If I RAM preview this, you're going to see that all of these are doing the same thing, but kind of sort of at a distance. So I have introduced a little bit of a pseudo 3D effect in here, although it's not 3D at all. Now I'm going to select a particular layer and I'm going to go to the Effect Controls panel and see what I can change. Window, Effect Controls, and there it is. I'm going to make this one blue. I'm going to make the next one pink. The next one may be yellow. And as you can see, changing the colors of these becomes very, very, very easy. And I'll change this one maybe to a brown. And this one to a white. And then finally we'll have the bottom one, which we can leave as a green. So this is all good. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a fast blur for these. The problem with the fast blur is that I'm going to use it and I'm going to apply it to just one layer, and I don't want to do that. I want to go ahead and apply it to all of the layers at the same time, so I'm going to pre-compose once more. So in the timeline I'll select all of my clips, Control or Command A does that. And now I'll use the shortcut for pre-compose, which is Shift Control C for Windows, Shift Command C for Mac. And I'm just going to call this one Final. And click OK, and there you go. I'm going to add the fast blur to this, and I'm just going to slightly blur this. Not bad. Last but certainly not least, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this again, and I'm going to make the bottom really, really, really large. And I'll duplicate that one again, and maybe like this. And I'll change it to different places as I duplicate. And now finally I'm going to pre-compose this once more. So Control or Command A to select all of the layers, and Shift, Control or Command C to pre-compose, and I'm just going to call this one lower third. And I'll click OK. All I have to do now is mask it, and of course position it whatever I want. And some of these make fantastic backgrounds.